is going on? How is this happening? I applied for a home loan. My phone's blowing up. I'm getting hundreds of calls. I literally have to change my phone number. Did my loan officer sell my information? Like, what happened here? Well, your loan officer didn't sell any information, but you're experiencing what's called a trigger lead. You are a trigger lead. And what that basically means is that you are opted in to pre-screened offers from the credit bureaus. At some point, you signed something somewhere. You acknowledged, hey, you guys can sell my information. And you probably didn't want to do that. You probably just didn't read some fine print. That's really all that happened. And when you apply for a mortgage, guess what happens? Whole bunch of chop shop, boiler room type mortgage companies who buy trigger leads, they want to know that you've applied for a mortgage because they want to call you and try to sell you into using them. Now, the people who are doing that they do not have your best interest in mind. They're not handing out great mortgages. That's not what's happening. It's very expensive. It's expensive to go through this process because they have to pay for the data from the credit bureaus, and then they have to pay a bunch of people to sift through, telemarketers burn through, and then loan officers burn through. It's a high churn type business. It's not cheap, so they're not giving out good deals. But there are a lot of them out there, and they're very sneaky with their sales tactics. So be super careful out there. So your info gets sold to different mortgage companies, whether you like it or not. They can sell it as many times as they want. There's no restrictions. They can sell it to 100 or 200 or 300 different companies. They can basically maximize profit off of your information. This information they're selling includes your credit score, your address, everything, your income. They make estimates on all this stuff, and people are buying all this info. Now, the credit bureau already has all that info. It's the fact that you're opted in that allows them to sell it. So what I'm going to show you is how to essentially opt out, how to keep this from happening. Because that's the only way that you can make it stop, is to actually opt out. So to do that, you go to optoutprescreen.com. This is a website that was created just for this. They're legally required to have this so that you can opt out if you want to. Optoutprescreen.com. Make sure you go to this exact website. Okay, this exact website. Very well could be imposters out there who do have bad intentions, so make sure you go to this exact website. Now, when you go there, you're going to find that they're trying hard not to let you opt out. They really don't want you to. They're required by law to have this there. So it's not going to be easy necessarily. You just have to look for it. Scroll down, get to the bottom of the page, click that blue button. It says click here to opt in or opt out. Like, who's going to opt in here? Nobody. But they want to try to divert you away from opting out as much as possible, including making you believe that people are actually going here to opt in. So click there. Now, you'll notice when you click there, the first thing that's selected is opt in. That's the way it's automatically set up. So you have to actually click, hey, I want permanent opt out by mail. If you're not in a position where you can mail, let's say you're in the Navy and you're overseas, you're like, I can't mail anything from here. Do the electronic opt-out for 5 years. You can do that immediately right there from the internet connection, boom. And then you've got time to go and then do the permanent opt-out by mail. You got 5 years, okay? So I recommend the permanent opt-out by mail. Once you do that, click continue. And it is going to ask you for some sensitive information. Now, you'll note Social Security number, date of birth is not required on here. If you do not put it in, though, it is going to just delay the process. They will not be able to opt you out completely until you give them that information one way or the other. By the way, they already have it. I'm going to show you here in a second how you can verify that for yourself, but put in all of your information here. This is not the time to be hiding it. These are the people who already have your information that you're giving it to. So this is where you actually want to do this so that they don't take that information and sell it to God knows who, because that's the situation that we're dealing with right now. It's the worst I've ever seen it right now. In 20 plus years of knowing about trigger leads, never seen it this bad. So if you click on the privacy policy, you'll see Opt Out Services LLC is a joint venture among Equifax, Experian, Innovis, and TransUnion, also known as the Consumer Credit Reporting Companies. So this is their website. You can also opt out by calling this number here. I haven't had anyone do that before. I don't know if that's really a viable option or not, but it should be fine. But you're just going to have to keystroke your information in that way on your phone. May not be as pretty and clean as when you get your receipt for having done this opt-out. By the way, this doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you anything to opt out. But it tells you on here, hey, these are firm offers you're opting out of. Say you may exercise your right to opt out, which is a term for removing your name from receiving firm offers of credit or insurance based on your credit information with the consumer credit reporting companies, Equifax, Experian, Innovis, and TransUnion. Opt-out services' primary purpose is to accept and process requests from consumers to opt out. So now they're telling you, oh, well, it's opt-out pre-screen, opt-out services, yet they have all this information about opting in. So funny, right? They do want you to be opted in, of course, because that's how they make money. But ultimately, you don't want to be opted in. And here's the deal. I recommend you do this no matter what. Whether you're applying for a loan now or you have no intentions to, make sure you do this. Everyone that you know does this. Pass this along to as many people as you possibly can. Let's get everybody opted out, because it's not right that the credit bureaus sneakily get your permission to sell your information. And then when the time comes to capitalize on that information, they will absolutely drown you. They don't give a crap if it bothers you, if it makes you crazy, if it makes you suicidal because you're getting hundreds of phone calls a day and you literally can't make it stop. They don't care one bit. It's just about making money. So let's get everybody opted out. This is my information right here. Call, text me. If you have questions about home loans, you want to get a wholesale interest rate, not pay any lender fees, that's what I'm here for. Outside of that, let's get everybody to this website right here. Pass this along. Screenshot this right now. Tell everybody to go here. Type it in yourself and then share it on your phone. Let's get everybody opted out ASAP. And there is legislation right now in process that would make these trigger leads illegal. It would make the credit bureaus illegal for them to sell this information. They have a very big lobby. It's tough to beat them. Don't count on that happening anytime soon, but it is in process, because they've made so many people mad. It's actually may work, the traditional legislative process, but it just is going to take some time. The day that they outlaw it, I'll take this video down. Great. Can't wait for the day. Until then, share it far and wide. Make sure everybody gets opted out ASAP. You guys have an awesome day. And of course, I'm always here if you need me.